Hi! Welcome to No Fandom Left Behind. For today's recipe, Katniss? That was weird. As the whistle has suggested, we're gonna do a Katniss braided bread. Pretty appropriate on a couple different levels, I think. You know, the bread is pretty much what sort of brought Peeta and Katniss together originally. Let's just get right into it and we'll just have fun and it'll be great. And we'll see, I don't know what this was. I got everything ready beforehand because I'm trying to be efficient. You'll need to start prepping some of your wet ingredients first. You will need 3/4 of a cup of milk. Preferably, I guess use regular milk, but I use what I have, so I'm using almond milk. Get that on a stovetop, get it heating up. If you have a thermometer, use a thermometer. It needs to be between 115 to 120 degrees. No hotter, no colder, because the yeast won't activate. I don't have a heat thermometer because I am adult. And so I'm just gonna have to kind of gauge and hope for the best, so fingers crossed with that. We're gonna get through this together. The milk is not scalding, it's not lukewarm, it's about right in between. Add it to your bowl. You're going to need to add your sugar, 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Sprinkle it on top. You don't have to mix it, sprinkle. Now, add your yeast. 1 packet of yeast, just sprinkle, again, more sprinkling, sprinkle your yeast on top. If you can open the packet, which I can't seem to do. And now you're going to have to wait for this to react, which will take about 5 to 10 minutes. I am very fortunate. Number 1, the yeast wasn't expired. And number 2, I somehow managed to heat the milk to a perfect temperature because I need to show you this is what your yeast is supposed to look like after letting it sit. Bubbled up and puffed up. And so once it's like this, you're ready to keep going. You're gonna need 2 eggs. 2 eggs. 2. 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Crack your eggs in a little bowl first. There ain't no shame in my game. Take your whisk it a little bit in your little cup. Now add it into your yeasty, sugary, milky mixture and whisk it some more. Next, you're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. Give that a good whisk in. This is where it does help to have a standard mixer because the dough hook is the easiest thing to possibly use when you're making bread. Don't you dare fall in there. Don't you dare. You need to add 5 cups of flour. 5. High five. 1. Give it a mix. Be very gentle. 2. 3. This is going to start getting hard to mix with your spoon. Transition to your hand. And it looks like that is the point at which I am at right now. Add your salt. Teaspoon of salt. 4 and 5. Spoon, you've done well. Keep adding your flour. It's going to be sticky and kind of fun. Depends on what your definition of fun is. I'm going to move back here with all that room I don't have. You're going to need to get as much of the flour immersed into the dough as possible because you still have to add 1 more ingredient. So it'll look kind of like this. There's still a bunch of flour, but we have to keep mixing. Now you're going to add 4 ounces of butter. Room temperature butter. 4 ounces is, as we always say, 1 stick. You can't see it, but it's cut into little, like pea-sized pieces. Add your butter gradually. And you just gotta mush it with your fingers and get it going. There comes a time in every baker's life when they just stop and say, I need to use both hands to mix my dough. Get that butter, mix in, get it in, plug it in. I bet this is how Peeta makes it. Wow, I'm starting to sweat. Do it for the nerds. Come on, you can do it. Keep going. The nerds are counting on you. They're counting on you. You didn't need to see that. So look, we made dough. How you know your dough is ready to sit and rise. It's together, it's not sticky, so it should not stick to your hand anymore, which it does not. It should be shiny. It has sort of a shiny look to it, and if you poke it, it should spring back, which it does. for the most part. You can't see it as well, but you poke it, it should spring back. So what you need to do is you need to get a bowl, cover the entire inside of the bowl with your whatever oil you have on hand, a little bit. Get a paper towel or a napkin and just take it and go over the sides completely. Put your dough in the middle, give it a little go around, get it covered in the oil. If you have saran wrap, you can do that. I use clean towels. You're just gonna cover it. Good night. And you're going to need to let this rise. Typically, it's about an hour. You want to make sure it's proofed completely. So get this near somewhere that's a moderately warm temperature. Proof time does depend on where you are and the temperature of where you're baking this. I'm gonna go put it near my window because that's where my radiator is. Let's see what the dough looks like. To know that your dough is done, it will have doubled in size. Like, it will, boo! And that's exactly what this did. It's very soft. Okay, so you have to, if you break it apart, like move it, you'll notice that it stretches. Do you see how up in here it stretches apart? That's the consistency that you want. That is how you know it's done. This is ready for the next step. You need to punch your dough down because you need to deflate it and get the elasticity back in it. Punch it down, fold it. Don't be like mean to it. Very nice. Okay, so it's like that. Since we are doing a braided bread, we need to separate this into 3 separate pieces, and we're gonna get them a little bit long, and then we're gonna braid them. Then we'll go from there. Okay, so like I said, I just split the dough into 3 parts. I didn't even use a rolling pin for this. I literally just, ripped it apart, put it on the counter, and just kind of rolled it in this fashion, kind of like doing that, and then just pushing it out like this until it elongates like this. So now we are going to braid them. It's very simple. Just follow along though. It's very simple, I promise. I promise! I don't know. I think it kind of looks like Katniss's hair a little bit. A little bit. What you're gonna do is cover it, and the second proofing will take anywhere from a half hour to an hour. Part 3 of the bread making process. It's been 45 minutes. When it just gets a little bit bigger, not so much double in size, just to get a little bit bigger. And let's take a look at it. Ta-da! The braid is a little crazy looking, I blatantly admit that. Preheat your oven to 375. I forgot, I just put it on now before I started the video up. Before you put this in, we're gonna need to add our nightlock berries and also do an egg wash. To make an egg wash, all you need is 1 egg and a little bit of liquid. Usually milk is the common thing that we use. It'll give it a nice golden brown color. Do bread, Peeta, 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 Peeta. Cover as much as you can with it. Now we're just gonna stick our nightlock berries in them. And by nightlock berries, I mean we're gonna use blueberries. I like to stick them kind of like in the little creases. You have a certain pattern that you can follow. You don't have to put any blueberries in this at all. For the sake of relevance to my Hunger Games theme, the blueberries are appropriate for this. I think it's a little more symbolic, and it's, aesthetically I think it looks nice. There you go. Duh. So we're gonna stick this in for 40 to 45 minutes at 375. But you'll be able to check by, how brown it becomes to turn. Once it's a certain color, you can usually tell when bread is done. Whoa, it's heavy. Final waiting of our waiting game. I'm like the queen of movie magic. But enough digging around. Let's do the reveal. We have Katniss braided berry bread. Has a nice golden color to it. It's still a braid, it maintained its shape, the berries stayed in place, and it smells absolutely incredible. So yeah, this is the end of the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching and for everybody who subscribed. And I've been catching up on the blog, so the link will be in the banana. Oh no, damn it. Ugh. So, this is the Fandom Baker saying until next time, and thanks for watching. Peeta!